Hey.
All right, we are live on the tubes of you.
Oh, there we are.
Oh, you live!
Uh, I've got a mute. I'm helping my mom with phone
I,
problem.
What?
yeah.
I said hello. I got to mute. I'm helping my mother with phone problems.
It's okay. I know that feel. So how's your guys' month been? Mine's been hell.
My birth is soon.
Your birth is soon.
What was
Yeah.
that?
How old will the
birthday.
birth be?
16.
You'll be able to drive.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you gonna try to drive?
Yeah, my parents kind of, they want me to get a permit as fast as I can.
Don't be like me. I still don't have my permit.
Oh, God.
Hey, I personally feel like as long as you're ready to drive, it doesn't matter. Like you have to emotionally be ready to want to drive because then you'll do better.
Yeah. My one coworker, she doesn't feel like she would be comfortable ever driving, and because she just gets too anxious on the
dear.
road, and she'd rather have to take like public transportation than risk somebody on the road.
I mean, hey, if that makes her feel better, that's fine. Plus, you guys live in New York, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really live in an area where public transportation's huge.
Oh, okay. I feel so bad. I know, like, the stereotype of New York. I don't actually know
The
New York.
city.
I've never been to New York.
Well, I guess the easiest way is I'm in the capital district, so if I were to walk like an extra hour, I could get to public transportation and it'd be pretty easy.
I'm a 30-minute train ride away from New York City.
Really?
Yep. That's like
Where
when
I'm
you're
moving
supposed
to, though,
So, are you moving out of state or is it still in state?
yeah,
Oh, where are you going?
that's a surprise.
Oh, okay, because I knew you were moving. I just didn't know where.
Yeah, I'll make sure to send you guys a little pictures.
Oh,
I'm excited.
I'm gonna mute myself for a bit.
Okay.
It's spooky, but I guess I have to.
It's okay, Pipe. I believe in you.
I'm bad at
You've got
memorizing
me.
things.
What?
I'm bad at memorizing things.
What helped me out was, this sounds really dorky, but reading the handbook out loud, like just to yourself, just reading it out loud, word for word, helped me retain it a lot more than just reading it.
Yeah.
Also, be ready for trick questions because I had some of those on my first test and I hated them. The one that pissed me off the most was this one, and it's seared into my mind. And it was, if a 12-year-old is in the back seat of a car and you leave the 12-year-old to go do something, such as a small errand, is it against the law, yes or no? And I put no, because the fucker's 12. They should know how to work a lock in a car and get the fuck out. That was my rationality. And they were like,
I've
no.
left in the car.
And they were like, no, it's against the law to leave any child under the age of 18 alone in a car. And I'm like, even if they know how to get out of the car. And they're like, yes.
It is?
In California,
Wait.
it is.
I've been living alone.
I'm about to be like, I get left in the car all the goddamn time. I don't want to get out.
Yeah, no, I would do the same thing. I'd be like, Mom, I want to stay in the car. Back when I was younger, my mom would be like, okay, but yeah, I guess it's against the law.
Oh.
But it's also like, again, if you're
It's
12,
probably
you should.
one of those laws that they don't really enforce.
Yeah,
If it's like a 16-year-old.
Yeah, it's like, now I think this is gross, and I don't like it, but it's like, if you have a child in the car, you're not allowed to smoke in the car. And I'm like, I see people breaking that law all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like
They have
that.
cupcakes upstairs.
Yummy.
Time to get my fat on.
Don't eat my computer.
What?
My cat's trying to eat my computer.
Cupcake!
Somebody ate the rest of them though.
Oh.
Are you
so
at work?
mad.
Are you at work again?
Yeah, I'm on lunch.
I don't know why I always think that's like every Patreon call I've ever done, you've always been at work.
Oh, that's because I work the night shift, so. So my
Okay.
night shift is midday for you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Ooh.
I actually get 4 days off this week.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, here's the fun part though.
It's for moving.
Oh no, all my packing's pretty much done, but they have nobody closing this week.
Oh wait, so what are they gonna do?
I don't know, and I don't care
Good.
because they screwed me over enough times as it is.
Freedom.
Good, because, like, I don't know, ever since, like, Cody left his like, it pissed me off when Cody had his last job. And, hello, Bree! Hello.
Hey, well,
Hold on, because Bree's technically a patron. Let me see if she's at work or if she's being bad.
like me.
Yeah.
I get all the birthday money.
All the birthsmas. If I get my plans right, I should be able to open up for commissions again at the end of April, and I'm excited.
I got money.
So do I. I'm coming for you.
Oh, God. Yeah,
I'm also gonna come for you, Mitchie, when you open.
I'm waiting for, what was it? My brain. I'm waiting for my Patreon check so I can refund the last of the Inktober's, because, like, I was talking to Rosie the other day about this, because she was one of the patrons that bought one, and I was like, I want to do these so bad, but it's gotten to the point that it's been so long, and every time I've tried, God just slaps me in the face, and I'm sitting here like, maybe I wasn't meant to do traditional commissions right now. Because, like, I get some of the sketches done. My dad's printer breaks, so I can't transfer it over. I tried doing it on tracing paper. My cat shits on the tracing paper. I buy new ink. Somehow the ink is dried out, and I'm sitting here like, okay, there's enough signs pointing me not to do these. And I feel so bad for the people who bought them, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna refund all of you guys. I know some of you guys wanted me to wait, but I feel like a douche.
Yeah, it just seems right.
So,
My mouth is really blue.
nom nom.
I look like I ate a Smurf.
It's okay. Back when I used to dye my hair blue, my bathtub always looked like I murdered a Smurf. Surprisingly, though, now that I'm red, it doesn't dye my hair as much. I mean, it doesn't dye my tub as much as my other colors did. I don't know why. Like, red and purple destroyed my bathtubs growing up, but the second I go red, it's fine. But, what was I gonna say?
My friend went green once.
I'm thinking about going green, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to pull off a light green. Like, I'd have to do a dark green. Like an emeraldish green.
Yes.
She did,
It's a Bree!
It's a Bree and my video cam won't turn off.
What the fuck?
I don't know why. Oh, there it goes. Yay! I was like, y'all are gonna look at the ceiling just in case.
It's okay. You missed Angel's cupcake.
Oh, cupcakes.
Do you want to see them?
My birth.
I don't care. I'll show the cupcakes off.
Come on.
Oh shit! Oh shit! The cupcakes.
Cupcakes, maybe.
Also, hi, Bree. It's been forever since the internet's heard your voice.
I know. Hello.
Hello.
We've missed you.
She's not dead.
I'm not dead. I am alive. I can only be on just for a little bit because I technically got out of the shower just now and I got to hop back in. So.
Why did you hop back in the shower?
I am doing a. So I have a skin condition called keratosis paralysis, and I have a treatment stuff in there, so I have to make sure my legs are clean before I use my scrubby or whatever, and then I have to rinse it off. So.
Oh, I know what it's like. My legs look disgusting because of these goddamn fleas. So I feel you.
Yeah.
It took 10 goddamn. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, you're fine.
It took
No,
10
my body
goddamn
doesn't
years
treat
to
shit,
find.
so I'm excited to use it now.
Yay! Also,
Treatments, yay!
Also, hey Prince, also long time no see. You haven't been able to come to the past couple calls.
I know.
Are you feeling any better?
Sorry. Yes, slightly less depressed.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Trust me, everybody has those episodes.
It took me 10 goddamn years to figure out how to join Google Hangouts on this fucking iPad. Ah!
Open, connect.
Apple doesn't want you to use Google.
Nope, it doesn't.
Clearly.
Well, you
It's
guys,
like, how-
apparently they're gonna get rid of Google Hangouts. I think like next year. They've already said they're like working to get rid of it. And I'm like, I like Google Hangouts though. Like for this kind of thing, I don't know. I like it better than Discord.
I mean, yeah. I could definitely see the pros and cons. Like, you can stream directly from Google Hangouts to YouTube.
Yeah, plus you can do the screen share, and it's not as laggy if it's... I mean, if it's 2 people. I'm sure if you do, like, a big one with, like what we're doing now, it would kind of be chaos, but...
Hey, yeah.
Are you gonna puke again? Please don't. Okay, no, you're just playing with your mouse.
My pickaxe broke.
Okay, yeah, this works in different apps. Cool.
I am
So you got an
playing
iPad?
Minecraft.
Yes, I did.
Is it an iPad Pro?
Yes, I did.
Did you
and
get...
my dad rarely uses his Apple Pencil.
I was gonna say, you got the pencil too? So...
Yes, I do.
God damn it, everyone I know has a fucking iPad. I'm not gonna lie, it does hurt a little bit, but I'm sitting here like, someday.
Hey, listen, I have an iPad. I don't use it for that art stuff.
Well, I never had any version of iPad, because my dad was like super anti-Apple for the longest time. No, my dad is like a hardcore like Windows guy.
It's me.
Oh, no,
That's
not
mood.
Windows.
And so I only ever grew up with Windows, and I love Windows for computers, but I remember like when iPad came out, my mom wanted to get one, and my dad's like, no, I'm getting a Samsung Tab, and my mom got it, and the thing's a piece
I have
of
a
shit.
Cricket.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, no,
a lot of
they're
people
good
have
for-
caught up with iPhone now, so it's not as big a deal.
No, my dad,
Yeah.
my dad still hates them, to where like I could only get an iPhone once I moved out.
I mean, I'm also very anti-Apple, pro-PC. I have used a Mac before, though, for work reasons. They had Macs at the job I was working at, so I know how to use them.
I don't like Mac computers. I don't like
I
Mac
don't like-
computers, but I like iPads, and I like their phones. I just don't like their computers.
Yeah, I'm the same
Their
way.
computers are actually pretty okay. They're just completely different. They're like different and the same at the same time. It's weird.
Well,
The computers are like slightly different, but it's just a matter of preference, to be honest. Like, I worked with them when I was in my career tech school, and they were okay, but there's some things that are just programmed exclusively
want
for
it.
Windows.
Then buy the cake. That's an expensive ass cake.
Buy
Yeah.
the cake anyway. Treat yourself.
I wonder if they have half
$16
of
for
it.
a cake? That's an expensive ass cake.
How big
Yeah,
is
I
this
will-
cake?
I'm gonna see
What
if
you
they
talking
have
about,
any
Willis?
That's pretty cheap cake.
Okay, I'm back.
I don't think you understand how rarely I buy cakes. I'd rather make cakes. I'm picky when it comes to cake.
Oh, when
I
it was
like
my
cake.
birthday, we had cupcakes at my job that were made to look like a rainbow.
That's so cool.
I wanted it so bad.
For my 21st birthday,
A rainbow
we got,
cupcake.
when I was visiting Cole for my birthday, for 21st birthday, his family ended up getting me a mint chocolate chip ice cream roll cake,
Oh,
and it like had real fudge on it. And, oh my god,
Oh.
it was divine.
Hey, no talking about sugar like that. I'm offended.
I want the.
It's okay, Pastel. I'm also offended. I'm sitting here like, fuck. I hate
want sugar.
myself, but I'm probably gonna end up going on keto for a bit, just because, like, here's why. I know I've been like anti-keto for the long time, but
Anti-keto? What's keto?
it's a type of dietary change.
I think it's like cutting out most, if not all, carbs, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like mostly it's all carb you're getting rid of, pretty much. Because the reason for that is because since we've been sick, and since we've been on such a budget, we've been eating so much bread and rice that we both just feel, and I'm sitting here like, this is too many carbs. I know it's cheap, but I'm just like, And so then I was looking at keto things that are like cheap and don't taste disgusting. Because something that bothers me about a lot of keto diets is like when I see them online as fads and stuff, so many people are like anti-food when it comes to keto. Like I've seen it where it's like, yeah, instead of eating, try this. And I'm like, no, I have nothing wrong with eating. I just don't want to eat trash. Why are you so anti-food?
It's like, give me. It's like I still gotta eat, bitch.
Bleh.
Seriously, like they're like, oh, instead of eating, try this shake, and I'm like, I don't want to eat a shake. I want to eat food. Just give me healthy food.
Nah.
So I may or may not have gone to a Barnes & Noble and taken a bunch of pictures of some keto cookbooks when they weren't looking, so.
Hell yeah.
Oh, trust me, I do that at my job all the time.
I know it's bad, but I'm sitting here like, do you know how expensive keto cookbooks are? Like, normal cookbooks are expensive.
No.
The keto ones are more expensive. All the ones I found were like a minimum of $30.
Good God.
Oh god, we have these little
Goodness.
ones at my job, and
Yeah.
they're like $10, $15, and they're like little.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about? The keto cookbooks are like a scam. And then I originally thought, I'm like, maybe I can get some for my Kindle, because I have a Kindle Fire back when they did the like first version of the HD. And so
I have that still.
it's so old, but it works great for books. So for books, it's a great tablet. Everything else it kind of sucks. So I was like, it's gotta be cheaper for the Kindle version. It's like, no, still like $30 fucking. And I'm sitting here like, I'm not even getting the print.
Everything all
It
right?
should be cheaper to distribute it electronically because there's nothing to print.
In most book form,
Right.
it is, which is why like when my book eventually gets out, and Takes and Turns eventually gets out there.
No.
Chances are the Kindle version will probably be like $5 or something, because that's what the Kindle versions usually go for. I don't want to make it so cheap that it's $1, because that's like my bad porn book area, and I don't want to put Takes and Turns in that like category. I know it sounds bad, but it's a personal thing. I'm like, you know what? $5. That sounds cheap enough for a book, but
I mean, that's fair.
but the 99 cents, I'm like,
It's like, you know, your work is better than that.
I know I'm an amateur. It's one of those things. Like, I was talking to Bree because I found another really bad book, and I was like, "Oh, I'm excited! $3.99. You're not worth $3.99."
I found
What?
I have been Minecrafting like crazy this weekend.
Oh, speaking
I
of
noticed,
yes.
I noticed you were playing Minecraft.
Bree, you've been playing Minecraft?
a lot.
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
Yay, join me in Minecraft hell.
I
You know,
am
at this
just-
point, if enough of you guys play it, you should make one of those Minecraft servers where you guys don't
Mike.
play it.
Yeah.
I am not on that much.
Oh, I
mean, it's
either
I
kinda
think
all
it's flatulent.
for me at least.
Peaches, can you please stay still long enough for me to hit the camera button?
But
Come on.
I mostly play on a friend's realm, and
Come
I've got this
here.
farm.
Say hi to Aunt
fancy.
Mitchie, you piece of...
And right now I am digging a ridiculously fancy mine. I was actually working on one
Hamster!
all day yesterday,
look how
and
Hamster.
part of
Oh my
today.
god, he's big!
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Or
a
she's,
Syrian hamster.
sorry.
She's the...
What? Oh,
did you just assume my hamster's gender? I'm sorry, I shouldn't make those kinds of jokes.
Honestly, it's okay. Cody and I make those kind of jokes all the fucking time. Like, it's fine.
I mean, I'm trans, so I guess I'm allowed to make them.
It's a big ass hamster though. I've never seen a
Yeah.
hamster that big.
Yeah, Syrian hamsters, teddy bear hamsters, fancy hamsters, whatever you want to call them, they're all the same thing. They usually get pretty big, which is why a lot of times store-bought cages aren't usually big enough for them. Yeah. Come here.
Hamster!
stay still.
oh,
He's like this,
face?
or she's like the size of like a guinea pig.
No, not that big. Guinea pigs are like about. No, not no. You are not going on an adventure under my bed.
Hello. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to get
Our
to
bunny's
work
getting
again,
pretty
and I
big.
don't want to like. There we go. Okay, now it'll go back between. Oh my god.
This is probably a bad idea, but I'm doing it anyway.
It's fine. Al likes doing that with me, where he likes to burrow into my tits. So.
Oh god, Butterscotch loves to just lean head.
Yep.
I hate it.
Yeah.
The
So
problem. Oh,
yeah.
face.
fluffy face.
I actually got a picture of
Fuzzy
her
face.
like sniffing at the camera. like those really old the dog things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a picture of her like posing like that with the like nose first into the camera. It's great. Please don't.
It's adorable.
I've got my iPad in a
Oh,
keyboard case, and she just kind of like skittered across the keyboard. Yeah, that's my sock.
oh.
What was I gonna say?
Also, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but I got new headphone.
Yay! That's good. So you're house sitting again right now, Christian?
I got new headphones.
Come here. Oh my gosh.
That's good. Do you like them? Hello?
Huh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can
hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, I am.
Okay. What was I gonna say? I need to slowly start acquiring things for my desktop. Because I want to, like, slowly acquire things over time, so when this thing eventually shits itself, it doesn't hurt me too much.
I can hear you. I'm sorry to say.
What?
You're breaking up.
Yeah, Christian, you're breaking up real bad.
Well, actually, could y'all...
Christian?
Jeez. I had a feeling that might happen.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Hello?
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 Is it me or is it him?
I
think
didn't.
it's him.
Okay.
It's Masuda.
Hello.
Hi, your sentences
That's
keep
me.
cutting out.
Hang on.
It's me.
You want a banana? Do you want a banana?
No,
Want a banana?
don't make the meme picture, please.
No. She's got dried bananas, like freeze-dried banana slices.
Yeah, like once a month I'll give Al a raisin, because chinchillas are pretty much diabetics. Like, no, seriously, like, I was thinking I tell a lot of people who want to get a chinchilla, I'm like, I know the chinchilla treats look cute, but you literally can't give them, even treats made for chinchillas, you're supposed to give them a little bit, because they can't handle sugar well, so if you give them too much, they will literally go into, like, diabetic shock and die, and I'm like, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, hamsters can have, like, plain, unsweetened yogurt.
Really?
But you can actually flavor it with, like, actual, like, pureed strawberry juice.
Oh, that's cool.
And stuff like that.
That sounds adorable, imagining a hamster eating yogurt. I don't know why that sounds adorable to me.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a bunch of, like, the hamster treats that are, like, yogurt drops.
Uh-huh.
Yep. That are, like, flavored with, like, actual, like, strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of, like, I follow one particular channel that does exclusively, like, hamster DIYs.
That sounds adorable. That sounds adorable.
And it's basically a miniature food channel, and I already really like miniature food and just miniature stuffs in general. So just seeing a hamster chow down on a tiny pumpkin pie gives me great joy in life. It's just like, that channel was actually what made me get a hamster, to be honest.
Speaking of cute small animals, so I saw Us recently. I saw Us last night. And it was really good.
I want to see it!
It's really, really... It has my Michi stamp of horror approval.
Yay. Good.
It's just so you know, though, for anybody who's horror fans, because I don't think any of you guys are out there, but anybody who watches this later on, it's slow burn horror, so don't expect modern day, like, jump scares and audio cues. Like, it's actually really, really unsettling. I don't think that's a spoiler saying that. But, like, some people, like, I have some friends who are, like, finger quote horror fans, and then I'll give them a really good movie, and they'll be like, it's boring as shit. And I'm like, were you actually watching it? Or were you, like, digging around on your phone? Because they almost never go to the
type of horror movies that I like more.
What?
I like horror movies that are more slow burn. I hate when it's just a jump scare fest.
Well,
yeah, me too.
Well, because a jump scare, it's a reflex. Everybody jumps at a jump scare. It's not a scary thing.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't normally say this, but, like, when I left the theater, I was still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, when I left. And that very rarely happens. However, However, It Follows is a dumpster fire and people can fight me. I hate It Follows. That movie.
I didn't realize that Us was out already.
Yeah, it came out this week. That's why. So it literally only
I
came
saw
out
like one
a couple days.
advertisement for it.
I've been seeing it everywhere. Really? You've only seen one?
Yeah.
It's been like all over YouTube, all over my Twitter. Then again, I'm a horror person, so maybe that's why I've been getting a fuck ton of advertisements for it.
I've mostly just been getting
Makes
ads from
sense.
YouTube.
It's kind of how it goes. The algorithms, they come for you.
They know. Plus, I also like.
Mine has just been a whole bunch of like food related advertisements.
Boo boo.
I'm just so happy I'm not getting
Over
ones
here.
that are for like fucking DoorDash
Boo-boo.
anymore. Because I used to get so many for like
Oh.
Uber Eats, DoorDash, and like you want to get a car, and I'm like,
I still
Oh, I
get
get
ones
those.
for
I still get those,
ones
and they
for
drive me
Grubhub.
crazy.
I hate them. I hate them so much.
I look
wish
at a
could
thing
just, like,
one
I wish I could just.
time and then I
block
get a
them.
bunch of ads for it.
You know what my least favorite YouTube ads are?
What?
When YouTube literally is like, help us complete this survey.
Oh my god. Oh! So I have a hilarious story. So you guys know how my product review video went up on Friday?
Yeah.
So when I went to check it to make sure everything was okay, like after it went up on my phone, because I don't have ad block on my phone, I got an ad for another standing desk company, and I literally screamed at my phone. Like, before my video even started, I was like, oh my god!
Yup,
That is funny.
that's the algorithm. It's
10 out of 10.
My
coming for you.
goodness.
It's gonna eat your face.
Honestly, my least favorite part is the fact that you could accidentally click on something once, and then you just get fucking 30,000 advertisements. for it.
Yes! Oh my god, that's the worst.
Or I look up something once for like research reasons, and then I see it forever
Forget-
afterwards.
Right?
I hate when I
Forget
don't look
clicking
up
on
something,
something
and I
once.
just like mention it casually in a conversation, and then later I'll see an ad for it. I'm like,
Or even just a- Yeah.
Well, with that said,
My
guys,
grandma
I need to
was
go, so.
subjected to that once.
Bye.
Bye. I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Smatches.
See ya.
Mwah.
Yeah, mwah,
Bye,
bye.
Nabbit, what?
But yeah, if you guys like horror, I really recommend it. But I would be very careful of spoilers out there because a lot of people are like giving away spoilers, and I'm just sitting here like, that would have been good to
At least
figure out
wait.
in the movie because the movie
I want
just
private
came out.
spoilers. I want
Like, at least
spoilers
wait
in
for,
private
like, a
because
week.
I'm never gonna watch it because I can't actually handle watching it. But I love to hear about it.
Oh, well then if that's the case, go watch an ending explained and you'll be fine. Because it's really interesting. But like, I remember being like, really? You're posting? Because I follow a lot of the horror movie ending explained channels because I do like them. But I was pissed off because I saw the video go up. I'm like, dude, it's not even public yet. Why is your video out when the movie isn't even out to the public yet? Like, I understand doing it, like, within the same week, but before the movie's out, like, that's not really...
Well, these days it's so hard to stay ahead of a topic. I'm not surprised.
God, I know. Oh, yeah?
I had that problem with Spider-Man.
Mm,
Oh, no.
that happened to me too.
I'm lucky I haven't seen the Spider-Man trailer because a lot of people are like, it's super spoilery. And then the director came out and was like, yeah, this is after Endgame. And I'm like, thanks, asshole. So I'm like trying to stay away. I already know there's spoilers in it. But like, I also knew Spider-Man was coming back. Like, that was something I knew because...
I mean, we all knew he wasn't going to stay dead.
Because,
Yeah.
like, they announced when they did this, when they did the Sony pair-up, they're like, yeah, you're going to get 3 Spider-Man movies. And I'm like, we got 1. Then he got snapped. So I know he's coming back for at least 2. Somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta go?
Oh, hell. Yeah, I might be able to come back in a
Okay.
little bit after I eat some food.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Go
I
ahead.
am making coconut curry.
All right,
Ooh, that
I
sounds
will be
good.
back.
I'm excited.
I'm one of those strange people who loves to hear about horror stuff or enjoys watching true crime shows, but like actually watching a horror movie or something, I'm like, no, thank you.
No, that's pretty understandable. I think that's my mom. Because my mom loves murder porn, like to a T. And we'll watch it together all the time, like whenever I'm over there. And she loves hearing about horror movies, but my mom gets scared at the littlest thing seeing it. That, like, okay, have any of you guys ever seen Orange is the New Black?
No.
I have not.
Okay, well, there was a season where one lady escapes, and they do this, like, scene transition thing to, like, make her look younger for symbolism's sake. And for some reason, it was just a crossfade, but it scared the fuck out of my mom.
Hey.
I don't know why. But I remember, like, when that happened, she, like, screamed, and I was like, Mom! And she's like, oh my god, what did they do to her face? And I'm like, Mom, it's fine. You literally watched, like, 6 hours of, like, a murder mystery documentary, and you're fine with that, but a crossfade to a lady being younger freaks you out. She's like, yeah, it's like Gremlins. Seriously, my mom is terrified of Gremlins. Like, even Gizmo. To when I was a kid, if someone had, like, a Gizmo plushie, my mom would full-on back turn around and, like, go the other way. I don't know why.
Oh god, my friend's afraid of Orphan.
Of who?
Of the movie Orphan. She finds it terrifying.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Just 1 second. Preoccupied.
Alright. But I am reminded.
You have another hair ring? You okay?
I am 40 blocks from the bottom. Gotta reach the bottom.
I am reminded of something. I actually got really startled by something that I knew was already there, but still I ended up getting startled. Thing is, I can't remember what it was.
I'm being dragged to a different department, and I have no idea what they want me to do in here.
Oh.
People, can you not put, like, anything in the right spot?
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Hi.
My son was being a brat.
Okay.
The choice of chinchilla ownership, having to get rid of hair rings.
Yeah.
He's gotten so many, I'm like, just learn how to groom yourself properly, Al. And then we have Binks, my cat who thinks he's a dog. He doesn't know how to scratch the top of his head. So he does the doggy scratch thing.
What do you mean?
Okay, you know how cats, when they scratch their head, they'll, like, take their front paw and they'll, like, put it behind their ear? Same for cleaning?
You mean wipe their head?
Yeah. Yeah, Binks doesn't know how to do that. So he uses his back legs.
I know a lot of cats that do that, actually.
I've never known a cat do that before. He also
mine does it all.
He also plays fetch, and he does a lot of other weird stuff that dogs do over cats. Like, I caught him barking once. And I'm like, I know you were raised around dogs in the sanctuary, but Binks! Because cat bark sounds so weird. I don't know how else to describe it.
What does it sound like?
I don't, look up cat barking. Like, there's a video, because I don't know how to describe it. It's weird.
It's actually not that uncommon for cats
I have no
play
idea what they want me
if they
to
enjoy
do back here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not. There's a lot of things that cats do that can be considered dog-like, but when a cat's doing it, they're kind of doing it for different reasons.
Oh no, I learned that because, like, I remember, like, when we first brought him home, I'm like, oh, it's so cute, he's panting, and then I realized he was having, like, an anxiety attack, and I'm like, that's not funny.
Cat panting, not good.
Yeah, he's only ever done it once, but he did it when we first brought him home, and I was like, it's so funny, and then
when you brought him home, was it like you just went there and got him and came home all at once, or was it like a process?
No, yeah, it was. We had to do it that way. We came there, got him, and took him home. That's why.
Because usually it's better if it's like a process where you can like take something from where they live that has their scent on them, and then bring it back to where you're going to be living.
Yeah, we learned that now, but at the time we didn't really get that choice.
No, it sounds like the shelter did not give you that option.
No. And so, because we looked it up afterwards, and it was like, yeah, they're supposed to give you like a blanket or a towel or something that's theirs.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no, they didn't. We had to buy our own carrier. They wouldn't even let us use the carrier they brought him in. So like, everything was new to him. Poor boy.
Like, even if it was just like some of his own poop or something to put in his litter box, that would have helped. It's a thing. It makes them know that that's theirs and that's where they poop.
Huh. Well, at least the one thing is he was always really good at being litter box trained. But he's so big now that we're trying to, like, figure out how to, like, get him an even bigger litter box. Because we got, like, the biggest one we could find, and it's still not big enough for him.
Oh, no. You might have to do multiple litter boxes. In general, with cats, you're supposed to have one more litter box than you have cats. We have 2 cats here at my house, and we have a litter box on each floor. One in my room where my cat usually is, one on the middle floor where the 2 cats hang out frequently, and one in the basement where my brother's cat mostly hangs out for the most part at night. Because that's where my brother's room is in the basement. But so usually cats need more than one. So if you have them, even if you have like the 2 litter boxes like in the same space, that should be fine.
Well, we only have Binks right now.
Yeah. So, but you're usually supposed to have one more litter box than you have cats. So usually 2 litter box, 1 cat is the ideal.
Okay. I'll have to see.
It also makes scooping easier because it's a little spread out.
That's true. I don't know. To me, scooping's not so bad as long as you do it every day. Like,
yeah.
I used to have 4 cats, so.
Reminds me, I still owe my mom scooping.
I know. I don't know why it does that, Rosie. I'm sorry. For some reason, it never wants to, like, have the icons be, like, centered. I don't know why.
Huh.
A mystery.
Indeed.
But, yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Cody about this the other day, where, like, I felt... Oh, speak of the devil. Hold on. Hey, honey. I'm doing my Patreon stream. Everybody says he...
Greetings.
Greetings.
You're on your way home?
Oh, greetings to you, Cody.
I fell.
Why? Why are you sunburned?
How'd that happen?
We don't even own sunscreen. I didn't think you would need it.
Oh.
Didn't you bring a hat? Oh, honey.
Poor Cody.
Now you're gonna need some aloe.
Oh, honey.
Hi, answer.
Oh, God.
I was gonna be able to leave at 7, but now I can't. Yeah.
How'd you do that? Oh, my God. Oh, sounds like you had a fun bachelor party.
Oh.
Also, people are saying hi, Carfather, so I'll text me when you get to your dads.
Get some aloe vera.
Yeah. Alright, I love you. Hey, bye. So, speaking of being ill-prepared, he is sunburned because even though he knew he was going out in the desert for 3 days, in the desert, he didn't bring any sunblock or a big floppy hat.
I'm shook.
Well,
what's worse is apparently everybody got sunburned, and the guy, the groom is there, and the groom got sunburned, and his wedding is in 5 days.
Oh,
Oh no.
that's gonna be a fun wedding night.
His wife is gonna kill him because we're going to the wedding.
Aloe vera up. Get all the aloe vera.
Yep.
Get it all.
Just take a bath in it.
So he's calling his bachelor party friendness thing short because everybody's like, yeah, we're all hungry and sunburnt and out of ammo, so we're gonna just go. Yes, they went to go be dumb and shoot stuff in the desert. Legally shoot stuff in the desert, but still go shoot stuff in the desert.
I'm like surprised because like California seems like one of those states where you want to have sunscreen.
Well, all right then.
All the time.
It is, but people are idiots. Like that was the thing my mother ingrained in me. She's like, if you are going outside, even if you don't see the sun, you put some sunblock on.
The sun can get to you through the clouds.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not going to be outside long, then it doesn't matter. But, if you're going to be spending the day outside, sunscreen, especially if you have a family history of skin cancer.
Mm-hmm. Another fun thing is
Sun.
Well, I love Cody. I love him. He's the person that believes like you put sunblock on once and you're good for the whole day. And I'm like, no, you gotta reapply. Not how it works. And he's like, no. He's like, I'm gonna do it once and it'll be fine. And I'm like, and you always get sunburned. And he's like, why have it if you have to keep applying it? I'm like, because you sweat it off.
Yeah.
And some of it's not waterproof.
Yeah.
I mean, even the waterproof stuff, it's not even just that you sweat it off. It just wears off over time because, you're doing stuff.
And, I'm excited because, we got season passes to a water park that's within walking distance of our house. So,
Neat.
I'm, super excited about that because I love swimming. I love swimming.
Streamers are over there.
So do I.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to that water park. We got the season passes.
That's gonna be cool.
Oh, indeed.
Pardon me. What are you thinking about, phone? What do you want? No.
Ah.
No. Oh. Right. That's today.
What's today?
My friend. One of my friend's birthdays. It's a birth.
How many borfs? So many
Just
borfs.
the one. There's a lot this month. There's a lot of birthdays.
I was gonna say,
my sister's birthday was on the first day of spring. Was it the first day of spring or the day after? First day of spring. Weirdly enough, my family overall seems to kind of share dates. We have two particular dates our birthdays are on.
I'm not.
And then there are a couple odds.
Wait, hold on. What, Rain? Rain? Angel? I thought I heard you say something.
Yes.
I thought you said something.
I may have
Okay. I thought I heard her say something. I guess never mind.
just.
I'll explain in a minute.
Oh, okay. Do do
Oh.
do 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 do. So Christian, how come you're house sitting again? Hello? Is it my internet? Is my internet just being fucking?
No. You're fine. I can hear you fine.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Hello? I said, my grandma's internet. No, it's mine. Isn't great.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Okay, I'll explain now. So
Okay.
I'm helping out in our department.
Wait, hold on. What? Repeat that?
There it goes.
Rain, can you repeat that? Christian?
Yeah, I'm helping out in our dairy department right now.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't usually, I help out in dairy, but I don't know where everything is. So a customer just got mad at me about it.
Oh, Joy. I'm sorry. I've been there. Back when I worked
My
at
thing is
yeah.
she expects there to be more than one person back here.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're a small store. We only have one person back here at a time.
Well, that's like, I remember when I worked at Target. So something I got in trouble for this, and I always thought it was dumb, was I was put on pharmacy for the first time. I had never been in pharmacy before. So I didn't know where any pharmacy stuff was. I knew where the pharmacy section was, but I didn't know where anything was. So I was restocking, and this guy comes up to me, and he doesn't ask me for, like, the basic stuff. Because, you know, it's like Tylenol or full flu stuff. He asked me for, like, a very specific type of over-the-counter medicine that I'd never heard of before.
Leave.
And I think it was something like, I can't remember what it was at the time, but it was something like Imodium when I didn't know what Imodium was. So I was like, I don't know what that is, sir. I'm sorry. And he's like, you know, it's used for this. And I'm like, I told him flat out. And I was like, I'm very sorry. And I said like this, I'm very sorry. This is my first day in this section. I don't know it. But if you want, you can go to the pharmacist and they should be able to help you. Because I didn't know the aisles. And I guess the guy was like, oh, okay. Like, he wasn't even mad about it. So he went over and talked to the pharmacist. And then my manager came over, like my manager for our little group, and was like, did you really tell a customer you've never worked in this section before? And I'm like, I never have worked in this section before. I am normally putting chemicals and toys. I know chemicals and toys like the back of my hand. The rest of the store is still kind of a blur. And she was like, you can't tell customers who don't know the store. And I'm like, I know where the section is, but I've never worked in pharmaceuticals before. And I don't know the name for specific brands of things.
If nobody's told you about it, you should not be expected to know it automatically.
Yeah. But also, like you were saying, it's a small store. People should know that small stores aren't like Kroger.
Or Walmart.
Or Walmart, exactly. I don't understand people who, like, they want to go for, like, the mom and pop small town aesthetic, but then when it's actually, like, small town, they're like, oh, wait, I don't get the convenience? I don't want that.
I mean, I usually find that when a place is local and they know you, you know, it's usually more convenient because they know exactly what you want most of the time.
Exactly. No, I agree. It's like...
Oh, it's not even that we're a small store. It's just that our store, comparatively to all the other stores in the state, we're very small.
Ah.
Because we technically have other stores in different...
Also, am I coming through?
Yes.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, you cut up here. You cut out here and there, but yeah, you're being okay.
Ah, okay. Pardon, the internet here at my grandma's house isn't the best.
It's okay. Trust me. I know the pains of bad internet.
Yeah, I can confirm that.
The bad internet.
I am familiar with that time in our life.
I've gotten super addicted to Kroger sushi.
There it is.
To what
it's
sushi?
Really good. Kroger sushi. My local Kroger has a little sushi bar.
Oh, you have an actual sushi bar? Lucky.
Well, I mean, you can't sit down there, but there's a guy in there making sushi part of the day.
That sounds so
he's
good.
a real sweetheart, and
we have a sushi place too.
I constantly go in there and I'm like, can you make me a salmon box, which is like a special box with like some salmon rolls and some salmon nigiri, and I just want all the salmon. Just give me all the salmon.
I'm the same way. I'm a salmon whore.
He recognizes me now. And he's like, it's you.
I, alas, still have not had sushi.
Well, it's because you don't like rice.
This is true.
Sushi
is rice.
I remember when you were out here, I was like, let's go get sushi, and you were like, I don't like rice.
Well, I mean, if you got sashimi, you wouldn't have any rice. You just have some raw fish, and you can try dipping it in some soy sauce and stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could probably have sashimi, but sushi at least.
Sushi in general pretty much entails that you're probably going to be dealing with rice.
Yeah, unless you get the there is like a rice wrap where it's like it's rice but not rice. It's like a little weird. Anna's gotten them. It's like it's sort of like, instead of using the rice and the kelp, they have these weird little like rice paper wrap thingies. I'm terrible at describing it, but like Anna's gotten them before, and they're really
spring
good.
roll.
Yeah, like that. But you can get actual sushi rolls like that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I think they're still spring rolls. They're just spring rolls with raw fish.
I think so. Yeah, probably.
Aha.
So.
A spring roll has a rice paper, which is a little bit. It's weird. I've tried it before. It wasn't for me. It was kind of thick and gummy, but that just might mean that I didn't have particularly good stuff because it's supposed to be pretty thin.
Yeah, I've had the thick and gummy ones too, and I think they're gross. I'm a texture person. It could taste amazing, but if it tastes like I'm sucking out snot, I can't eat it. Enjoy that beautiful mental image I've just given all of you.
I'm not quite the same way, but there are exceptions.
I mean, but you are a pretty picky eater, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I am too.
Though with my picky eating, it's more related to taste than texture, unless it's chicken.
Well, it's hard to fuck up chicken.
Well, actually, it's super easy to mess up chicken. It's easy to make it dry because chicken doesn't have a lot of fat. Chicken doesn't have a lot of fat, so it's super easy to overcook and make it dry.
Oh, well, I guess I've never done that then.
Yeah. Do you know how to cook chicken? A lot of people don't because home ec classes got cut in schools.
Oh my god, okay, so speaking of that, I remember I was so pissed. So my middle school...
I am actually...
What? Christian?
What'd you say?
What?
What'd you say?
Hello?
Christian?
Hello? Oh. What? Oh, hello? I don't think I said anything.
You said something, but you cut out like mid-sentence.
Was it something regarding chicken?
Chicken or home ec?
I think it was just that, let me think. Oh, I actually like my meat dry.
Oh.
Huh.
I can't stand
Most of the time.
I'll agree. I can't stand dry meat.
It's like chalk in my mouth. I can't handle it.
I don't like
They didn't tell me what I was doing. I just got told to do yogurt.
You do the yogurt.
But
But
yogurt. What do you want me to do then?
Oh no.
Do you want me to come back up first?
Fuck, what was I gonna say? When I was in middle school, I was so excited to take a home ec class because I love my mom. My mom is a good cook when she wants to cook, but my mom
I can think of a lot of things I could do, but I don't want to.
my mom has very little patience. Oh shit! Hi, Prince.
I have returned.
Oh,
yay,
welcome back.
We're talking about cooking in home ec. And so, when my mom actually takes the time to, like, sit and cook, it's great. But my mom very rarely does that. My mom is I'm going to put it in the pot and I'm going to leave until the timer goes off kind of person. So, when I found out my middle school had home ec, I was so excited to take it. And then when I finally had the year to take it, because you had to be in 7th grade or higher, I applied for it, and they got rid of the cooking portion. So they put me in sewing, which pissed me off because we didn't learn how to sew because we weren't allowed to use the machines. Like they had sewing machines, yeah. And so I remember our final project, we had to use fabric glue to pick between either making a smiley face emoji, which back then it wasn't called an emoji. It was called an emoticon. They were like, yeah, we're going to make a smiley emoticon plushie or a cell phone plushie. And the cell phone was this like giant red beeper looking cell phone thing. And they gave us like this like how to make a sewing kit packet. You would get it like Michael's. I was so pissed. I felt so cheated.
So stupid.
And then like the biggest thing was we were supposed to make pajama pants. That was like the thing that like everyone always saw was they're making the pajama pants. They're making the pajama pants. Well, because some teacher wasn't watching the kid. A kid sewed his fingers into the sewing machine. I feel bad for the kid, but if the teacher taught them how to use the sewing machine right, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they're like, yeah, we can't use the sewing machines anymore. So you're gonna have to make pajama pants out of fabric glue. So none of our pajama. So the home ec was it was a crock. We were so pissed, and we would always look at the cooking class that was the cooking class because they still had all the kitchens and stuff in it. They never took it out, so it became an empty classroom with just all of the like. We'd always walk past it, and it was always the what if. Because all of us signed up for fucking cooking home ec. We didn't sign up for fabric glue home ec. I was so pissed.
Yeah, we had a general home ec.
Our home ec.
You didn't sign up for arts and crafts for, like, you know, kids.
Yeah.
You signed up for a class that's supposed to teach you a life skill that is useful in your home and daily life as an adult.
Oh my god, speaking of, do you know how few of my friends know how to sew on a button? I'm not even talking about sew. I mean sewing on a button. I have had to sew on my friends' buttons so many times because they don't know how to sew on a button.
I mean, it's not that hard to figure out.
Nor do I.
I know.
You just kind of do it.
I know, Lissa, but you'd be surprised.
I'm so
I can make a
depressed.
pillow.
Okay, see, Angel can make a pillow. Can the rest of you
I
guys?
made a whole stuffed animal.
See? There we go. But no,
I
Cody's
can make a pillow, but I can't sew on a button.
I've tried showing Cody how to... Wait, how is that possible? Sewing on a button is the easiest thing in the world.
Because we got to use the sewing machines.
Oh. But hand sewing on a button, it doesn't even take like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not difficult.
I say this, but my husband still refuses to learn how to do it.
Alright, well, just let him go buttonless, see what happens.
Well, no, it's because, like, okay, so I keep telling Cody, because Cody's like, I have really big fingers, because he has big hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then get a bigger needle, you'll be fine. And he's like,
Big, meaty claws.
but he's like, oh, I'll stab myself. And so he tried sewing on his button once, and he didn't do it enough times, so it popped back off. And he's like, can you just sew on my buttons? And I'm like, okay, I'll sew on your buttons, but beg.
Oh well, I guess it's a fair exchange. He'll fix your car.
It's true.
Fair enough.
Then again, I can't cook either.
Oh my god, I don't know. I like cooking. I think it's fun, and like I feel like, especially with
it's enjoyable.
all
Yes.
of the like how-to videos and cookbooks and stuff. As long as you have the patience to like be there and do the prep and like watch it, I personally don't think cooking is that hard.
There's loads of good recipes out there that aren't
actually a very
that hard.
about this.
Also, I will admit, I am a person where it's taste over like showmanship, so I can never be on like one of those cooking shows. Because to me, I'm like, as long as it tastes good, I don't care what it looks like. So I don't do like the fancy placements. I'm just like, plop it on a plate and give it to somebody.
That is actually like me now.
That is home cooking.
Aren't you more of a cooking witch too, Mitchie? Isn't
Yeah.
that usually how you... Yeah, I was going to say, that might also lend to your
That could be it.
liking
too.
of cooking.
It's so good that YouTube has so many tutorials and everything, you know, because, you know, schools and stuff don't teach you how to basic life.
Right? But hey, real
So,
quick,
when I was a
speaking about
child-
cooking... Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go, do yours.
This is kind of related to this. So
Yeah.
when I was a kid, my mom would never let me go anywhere near the laundry
Why?
Oh, no.
because she didn't want me to do it and mess it up.
Oh, God.
So I still kind of can't do my laundry. I
Oh,
get very
you're
confused.
moving out!
So
I know, my aunt's showing me now.
Goodness gracious.
I get the general basics, but I'm just
So-
confused.
Yeah.
So basically, don't do it because she's afraid you'll mess up. So you'll always mess it up whenever the time comes to.
Yep.
It was not a well thought out plan.
Oh my god, my brothers are like that though. Not that my mom refused
And
to
again-
teach them. My mom just always did my brother's laundry. So when my brother tried doing it for the first time, he put dish soap in the dishwasher and in the
Oh, no.
he didn't know there's special soap. So he just full on took the Dawn and just sprayed it into the fucking washing machine.
Oh no.
I mean, as soon as we got old enough to understand stuff, my mom did show us, okay, this is how this works.
Well, here's the thing.
She had high hopes that we would do our own laundry.
Well, here's the thing.
Some
My
of us
mom
did.
never offered. Like, well, she taught me because I asked. It was one of those, like, she never offered and my brothers never asked, so it was one of those, like, I can do it, and then it's like, I destroyed the washing machine. And there's bubbles everywhere. There were bubbles everywhere.
Goodness.
That is a mood.
Thankfully, I learned how to use my own.
I was the same way with cooking. My mom never ever let me near the kitchen. More so because she didn't want me to get hurt.
Oh, that makes
But
sense.
also because I was apparently an impossible to teach child. Like they gave up trying to teach me how to ride a bike.
You don't know how to ride a bike?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I don't either.
What the hell?
That,
Me neither.
It's like when I hear people don't know how to swim, it freaks me out.
I can't swim either.
Not knowing how to swim is like not knowing how to ride a bike. I mean, not everybody has to ride a bike, but not knowing how to swim, if you're in a situation.
I know how to swim only because I love the pool so much.
I know how to swim.
But like whenever I would get anxious trying to ride a bike, they'd just be like, "Okay, we're done."
Who took it?
I mean, the first time, okay, I guess I'm no saint. When I was first learning how to ride a bike, I did kind of run into a car that was moving, so that wasn't fun.
Oh.
Wasn't my parents' fault. I had training wheels, and so I just I fumed. I just went for it, and I lived on a cul-de-sac. But I went past the cul-de-sac and a car hit me.
Oh.
I was okay. But the guy who hit me freaked out. My parents ran over and freaked out, and I was like, again. I was a weird kid. I was a weird kid before I got bullied. That sounds so bad, but I used to totally be like, I'm gonna get up and do more shit. I remember I used to love to rock climb too, and I remember I was rock climbing once, on one of those rock walls, and the tether to the person broke, and I didn't know, and the person didn't know either. So I was climbing up the rock wall, and I slipped, and the person was getting ready to be hoisted up because they usually have it on them, and then they saw the rope go, and so I fell on the soft mat, but I fell far, and my parents are freaking out. The guy thought he was gonna lose his job, and I was like, "This is so much fun. I want to do it again." And I was a very adventurous kid, and then trauma happened, and that kind of stopped that for a bit. But I'm getting it back, so I'm doing more things. But I don't think I could ever go skydiving. One of Cody's friends is like, I know a guy who has a plane, and we can go skydiving. And I'm like, whenever someone says you know a guy for something like that, I don't trust it. It's like I know a guy that'll give you a good discount on gas. That's a good thing. But it's like, I know a guy with a plane. Kind of freaks me out. God damn it, Gunmoon!
What?
Dude, Gunmoon, you're a patron. Why aren't you hopping in the call?
Oh.
I mean, I don't know how to ride a bike, but I do know how to ride a horse.
Well, see, there you go. That's something.
That counts for something.
I don't know really how to ride a horse.
It's kind of funny. I know how to drive a boat, but I can't drive a car.
What? I don't know how to drive a boat. That's cool.
I can park it too.
And can I just say, for the record, as someone who spent a lot of their childhood around horses, Red Dead Redemption 2 is very unrealistic in and of the fact that no real horse would let you run them into a tree.
Do people actually think that's realistic?
Yes! And I died.
No.
Horses aren't idiots!
They're smart animals.
I mean, they're not the smartest, depending on the horse.
Yeah.
Oh my god, a plastic bag!
Some horses are super smart, and then at times, super smart horses will do super dumb things.
Yes.
Oh,
like freaking out at a plastic bag.
Actually, fun fact, I used to do horse competitions.
I did too!
I won a couple medals and a couple ribbons. Not medals. I won medals for ice skating. I won a couple ribbons, and then what stopped my horseback riding was my mom had a friend. This is why I'm saying it's never good to have a guy. My mom had a friend who he had a professional racing horse that got too old, so the horse had to be retired. And my mom and he was like, "Hey, your daughter does competitions and likes horses. You want my horse?"
No.
And my mom...
It's a racehorse.
Well, we didn't know the difference, okay? So my mom and I were like, yeah, that's great. So the racehorse didn't like me because it didn't grow up around me and it was old and I didn't know that. So I was very nice to this horse. It wasn't like I was mean to this horse. You know, I took care of him, I brushed him, but he would not let me ride him, ever. To the point where I remember one time, there's a time he sat on me, and then there was the time that he bucked me off, and that was the last time I ever rode a horse. They had this little training pen. I forget the technical term, but it was pretty much like a circle room that you would take the horse in.
Oh, it was a round pen.
Yeah. So we would try to do that, so like the horse would get to like know me, you know. So I would put him in there, and I'd ride him. But then I remember one time he just stopped. He sat down with me still on the saddle, and then laid down with me on him.
Oh, my mom's previous
you?
horse, Sunny, did that.
And it hurt. It hurt so bad. But I didn't tell my mom about that story. So how we got rid of him was a couple months later after that, because I would still go like twice a week to take care of him and everything. And I'd at least walk him around. He was fine letting me walk him around, but riding him he just didn't like. So my mom was there, and I was on him, and I'm like, oh, you're letting me ride you, yay. And my mom was talking to the stable guy, because it was at another stable that was closer to our house. And so he bucked me off, and thank God I had my helmet, but I hit a rock. So I knocked out. So I knocked out for a couple seconds. Like, not very long, but I passed out. And my mom had never seen that happen before. Like, ever. And so the next day she was like, yeah, we got to get rid of him. We can't have him. That's too dangerous. And so we gave him back to his original owner because my mom didn't want to have him put down. Cough.
I mean, bucking someone off is not a good reason to put a horse down.
I know
it's
not.
It's a good reason to not keep it for your kid, but
well, I know it's not. That's why my mom was like, because my mom didn't know. My mom, it was not a bad thing. My mom just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So she's like, we're either gonna give it to him, or we're gonna have to put him down. And I didn't want to have him put down either. So we gave
horses aren't usually treated like unruly dogs who bite people.
Yeah.
Usually they just end up either getting trained harder or let out to pasture.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened was the latter. I'm pretty sure they just found like a place he could just
chill.
Go be a horse.
Since he was already probably old and grumpy and like, I'm tired of people.
Mm-hmm. Racehorses tend to be thoroughbreds, and thoroughbreds are known for being kind of flighty, nutty.
Well, racehorses in general tend to get pretty burnt out on people pretty quickly.
Yeah. And if a horse knows that they can get away with something with you, they're gonna try it.
Yeah, like they're not idiots. That's most animals though. I don't like people who think that like all animals are idiots, because most animals are pretty smart, and like they will learn what they can and cannot do.
Yeah. Sorry,
most animals,
it's okay. What you making?
Animals.
Yeah.
My mom is working on taco stuff.
Also.
Yeah. Yes, Christian.
But I ended up remembering when Red Dead Redemption 2 was brought up. I ended up remembering how I on 2 occasions accidentally punched my horse.
No.
And the horse hello.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
But both times the horse immediately kicked me.
Ow.
Yeah, that's pretty realistic, actually.
Oh no! I mean,
Still, getting kicked by a horse isn't nice.
No, it's not. But you deserve it for punching
The game.
Yeah, I mean,
I have.
like, oh my god. You know, speaking of like animals,
I pressed the wrong button.
Speaking of animals and stuff, so this is ironic. So,
Yeah.
I had some drama recently with some people I know, and it was one of those like, it's not my drama; it's other people trying to bring me into their drama. And and it happened because like I had one friend who was like asking advice, and that's fine. But then I had another friend being like, "So whose side are you on?" And I'm like, "I'm not on anybody's side. This is petty and dumb, and we're fucking adults. Stop it." But it was over the fact that, like, so my friend's mom has an old dog. A very, very old dog. And she's already talking about, when the dog dies, getting a new dog. Like, right away. And I keep telling him, I'm like, you do know you're going to have to train it, because you're going to want to get a puppy, because I know you. And that's what my friend was telling him, was like, yeah, you're going to have to get a puppy because you're not going to want to get a shelter dog because they just... Okay, so I should reiterate. She tried getting a shelter dog once, but she's cheap. So she got an abused shelter dog. I know it sounds really mean, but they tend to be cheaper. And the person told her, this dog has been abused. Whatever you do, don't try to grab the dog if anything happens.
Oh, yeah.
So,
oh, gosh.
What happens? Right after she gets the dog, she grabs it and the dog bites her, and then she's angry because she's like, I paid money for this dog and they bit me. And it's like, you got an abused dog where the people from the sanctuary said, whatever you do, don't grab the dog. Also, like, the place they got it from was a deserty area, and they told him, like, listen, this dog has to be a purely indoor dog because this dog's never felt grass. It's never felt grass. And they live in an apartment, and the only place dogs can go poop in the apartment is on grass. And so it was like, it was just all around not a good time. Not a good time. So eventually she gave the dog back, and everybody was like, we told you, don't do that. And she was just like, well, I was just thinking, why do people want to help, abused animals if they're just going to bite people? And I'm like, they're not, if you just listen, when you get an abused animal, and you know how to take care of them, they can be amazing, healthy, happy pets.
Yeah. You have to be ready for you deal with an abused animal situation.
Yeah, it's like a person,
it's
it's exactly like a person, and that's what I was going to segue into, is like, it's like when people adopt children and seem to be entitled to a normal parent-child relationship.
Yeah, especially when they're, like, older or they've been abused or something, like...
Like, what was... Candace Newmaker? The Newmaker story? I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Maybe? No. I don't think so.
That's bad.
Wait. Is that the recent one, the YouTube family?
No.
YouTube family? No. This was 2000-some.
Okay, no, I don't remember this story then.
But the story recropped up recently because of the Pet Stop series.
What?
Because there's a lot of references to it supposedly in the Pet Stop video series. Mm-hmm. If you've heard of that.
Case. Case. Okay. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, the fucked up people. Yeah.
Yeah, that still disgusts me to even think about, like, someone returning a living being like it's a defective product.
Yeah, it's like or did I ever tell you guys about the people I knew who they were my brother's friends in elementary school who, like, their job was taking in foster kids? Did I ever mention this before?
I don't know.
Okay. So, when my brother and I were in elementary school, this is the first time we'd ever, like, seen anything like this. My brother was friends with this kid, and we went over to his house, because his house was really close to the school. And when we got to the house, like, we asked my mom and everything, but we had only ever been there once. And then never again. And my mom is not that kind of person. So what happened was we went there, and I automatically felt something was off. Like, even though I was younger, like, it wasn't like a normal house. The thermostat had a lock on it. Their fridge had a lock on it. Like, there was, like, a lot of weird things going around, and they were, like, showing us a tour of their house. And my brother was also kind of uncomfortable. And so my brother's friend was
I
like,
remember this.
yeah. My brother's friend was like, yeah, here's our like game play room, and then like here's my bedroom, my brother's bedroom, and that room over there is where all my other siblings are. And we're like, your other siblings? And they're like, yeah. And then it was just a room full of bunk beds, and then like there were these random teenagers coming in, who pretty much what the parents' job was they didn't work. They just took in foster kids as a paycheck. And then once they were 18, they would kick them out. Or they would rotate with them. And they had all these crazy rules. And it was like, I remember when my mom picked us up, my mom asked her, oh, what do you guys do? Like, being just nice and everything. And she's like, oh, we take care of foster kids. And my mom was like, oh, that's nice, but what do you do? Like, how do you pay for everything? And obviously my mom didn't use those exact words, but it was also, like, probably at this point, like, 17 years ago. So... And they were like, no, this is our job. It's a really easy job. You just take in, 4 or 5 or sometimes even 8 foster kids, and the government pays you over $1,000 a head. Even more if they're a different race. And it's like, oh, we're never coming back here ever again. Okay, bye.
Hearing the phrase even more if it's a different race makes me incredibly uncomfortable for some reason.
Well, no, but that's a thing. Like, they even talked about that in, in Logmire. Was how like in the foster care system, it's really fucked. I don't know if it's that way in every state, but in some states, I know California changed it now, but this was back in the 90s. But in some states, yeah, you will actually get more money if you have an ethnic kid, and that's like it. To me, that sounds like child like selling, and it freaks me out, and I think it's disgusting.
My stomach turned.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's one of those, like, really creepy things. And people do it. They still do it all the time, and it's completely legal. It is completely legal if the kids aren't being abused. But it's also, like, I don't feel like you can have a normal life if you're living in a place where there's a lock on your refrigerator. Like, I know it sounds weird, but...
You mean to tell me it's not normal for your parents to go, okay, stop taking food without us being around the house and putting handcuffs on the fridge?
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh.
But needless to say, that was the one only time we'd ever been there. But I remember that was like a moment where I was like, what the fuck? Like, people do this? And then as I got older, yeah, a lot of people do it. And like, it's like, it bothers me because some people like compare it to surrogacy. And I'm like, no, being a surrogate's very different. Like, being a surrogate is trying to help someone who wants to have a family and can't. You know,
no, there's a very big difference there.
It's not like, I don't want to work, so I'm just going to take in these random kids I don't care about so the government can pay me.
Yeah.
Hiwo senpai. Well, Hiwo. But,
Hiwo.
Back to the pet topic. Let's go back to pets, because they're getting kind of deep here. So, it's really funny because Cody and I were talking about when we eventually move in, like, realistically probably like 4 years, because we got to save up to move. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
But we were talking about what kind of dog we were going to get in the future, because we do eventually want a dog when we have time to like train a dog. And I'm not going to lie, Pomeranian Chihuahua mixes are speaking to me. And I know it's terrible, but I'm just like, they're so cute. They're so fucking cute. Like, let me show you. Hold on. Like,
speaking of which, I got a dog sleeping with me.
Puppo.
Aww,
okay, let's see.
Yeah, it's the old Boudreaux.
No, I didn't want that. Where's screen share? Hold on.
I keep forgetting my mic is on.
He is actually probably the main reason I'm house sitting over here instead of just staying over at my house. Because otherwise he'd be a sad boy.
Aww. I personally like...
oh my gosh, that is adorable.
I personally like Pomeranian Husky mixes.
Oh god, those are also cute. But I mean, just look at them. They're so cute.
God, it
Personally,
looks like a
I'm
fennec
more of a
fox.
pug person. I love pugs. They're adorable.
That's
Oh, they're called
adorable.
palm cheese. I didn't know what they were actually called,
Palm cheese.
but I think they're
Uh,
really, really cute.
if I were to get it like a
They're-
specific breed for smaller dogs, I'd probably go with either a corgi or a Shiba Inu.
See, I originally wanted a Shiba, so did Cody, but apparently they're really, really hard to train. And the reason why Shibas are hard to train is that apparently you have to keep showing them who's dominant, like more than normal dogs, because if they get complacent, they'll see if you forgot, and they'll test your waters.
Yeah, Shiba Inus are extremely independent.
Yeah, no, even more so than Akitas. We've had Akitas for like years and years and years. We have 2 right now.
What's an Akita? I've never heard
Akitas
that type.
are basically they're basically really big Shiba Inus, but they were bred in Japan for bear fighting originally.
Oh my
Like, hunting
god!
bears. Yeah, a hunter would like put 2 or 3 Akitas against a bear. And they're very good loyal guard dogs, and they're major sweethearts if you introduce them to people enough, but you really have to work to socialize them.
I know that. Oh, how dare you, chat? My heart. They're like, look up an Alaskan Kiki or Kelki.
What?
And I'm dying. They're adorable. They look like wolves.
I want to see.
Look up here. I'll put it in the
Oh.
Discord chat.
I still want to.
Okay, yeah. Google this. It's in Chit Chat. That's how they spelled it. What was I gonna say? Oh, well, depending on where we move, because we like.
All right.
The more and more we think about it, the more I'm pretty sure we're gonna end up moving to Texas, because probably Texas or Arizona, because Cody, his exact words were, "I want more space for less money," and I'm like, "Yeah, we're not getting that in California, honey. I love you, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works out here."
That's
not how it works up here either.
Yeah, and so when it does eventually happen that we move,
Yeah.
if we have the property for it, we would love to get a wolf mix, because you can get them and they're extremely loyal pets, but by government law you have to have like X amount of land for them to just run in, if you can even have one, because they're very dangerous.
Yeah, my ex's family had a wolf mix.
Yeah, they're not safe, and they're not really pets.
Mm-hmm. No, they're not. They're not really. It's not like how you would dream as a kid, like, oh, I want a pet.
Oh yeah, no,
someday.
but that's exactly it, which is why like we've done a lot of research on it.
Oh, those are cute.
And again, it's one of those like, if we have the space for it and the time for it. But yeah, because a lot of people think like it's gonna be like the movies where me and my wolf are gonna be just bonded forever. It's like, no, it's not how that works. They're still animals. They're intelligent animals, but they're animals.
Yeah, no. Get a husky.
Yeah, and another big thing is, well, I don't want to get a husky if they can't go outside. That's the thing that bothers me, because like,
yeah, the huskies require a lot of energy. I'm just saying,
if you're gonna get a working dog, you need to make sure that you're going to be able to take them out all the time and give them the enrichment they need.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just saying, for people who want like a pet wolf, I'm just like, please, just get a husky, please.
Don't get a pet for aesthetics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Real quick, sorry. Someone asked a question I want to answer. It's someone asked like, why live in such an expensive place when you make money from home? I don't make enough money. My husband's job is here. It's why we moved here. And my husband has a very good job with very good benefits. And it's not that I make bad money, I make good money, but I don't make California live on your own money.
Oh yeah, same with like New York. New York and California have the highest areas of living out of the entire U.S.
Like, it's something I try to explain to people, because, like, I have friends in other states who make less than me, but they can afford to live on their own, and I'm like, that's great, I love you, I wish we had that here. I don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I'm moving states.
Yeah. And it's why, like, and the thing is, too, a lot of people think, like, oh, well, if I move to the middle of bumfuck nowhere, then it'll be okay. It's like, no, because if the cost of living is less, the minimum wage is less.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta make sure. It's why when I tell people, if you move and you're not self-employed, make sure you have a job or a very steady place when you do move. Because a lot of people just kind of, like, this sounds bad, but they see the YouTube thing of, like, I'm just gonna get up and leave. And it's like, not everybody has that luxury to just get up and leave. Because it takes a lot of money to get up and leave. Like, there's this one YouTuber I had to stop following. This sounds bad. But they tried doing a, like... they're a pretty big YouTuber, too, so I'm not gonna, like, say who it is. But they were pretty much like, I'm gonna live in my car for a year and travel the world. And I'm like, wow, that must be really nice to have the money to be able to do that by choice. Most people don't.
Most people have to live in their cars by like necessity.
Yeah, and so like it made me really uncomfortable when that because they were literally saying it as like, I'm gonna live in my car, not like I'm doing a road trip. Because I think doing a road trip cross country is very different than like, isn't it so cool? I'm gonna be living in my car. And it's like, you know, as someone who actually knows people who were homeless and living in cars, I know I shouldn't have gotten offended, but I got offended, and I'm like, I can't subscribe to this. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I get offended by dumb stuff too sometimes. And I'll even acknowledge that it's dumb, but I'll still feel like my feelings hurt because of it.
There's a possibility that I do too, but I don't remember what it would be. But yeah.
Oh, god damn it. I'm so sick of this cough. I hate having lingering coughs. I get bronchitis 1 year, and my cough lingers forever, and I hate it.
Oh.
And, like, I've gone to doctors for it, because I was really worried I had, like, something wrong with my lungs, and they're like, oh, no, that just happens sometimes if you have a really bad case of, like, whooping cough or something when you're younger, and I'm like, oh, joy.
So I had an issue recently with Peaches.
What happened?
I went to clean her little plastic thing that she uses as a nesting box because I've got the critter trail, and normally the critter trail cages aren't big enough for hamsters at all. But I've got 3 of them connected, so she's a spoiled little brat with a mansion at this point.
Well, that's good, because like,
yeah,
you'd be surprised how many people like who get like the chinchilla basic thing, and then I see it's like a 1-story level cage. Now, okay, you can have a 1-story level cage with little toys if you take them out enough to play to make up for it. Because I did that with Al a lot because I had to keep them in single-story cages, but their cages were big enough to have a shelf, so at least they had a 2nd story to hop around in.
Yeah.
And I play with them enough to where they don't feel the, like, cage anxiety, because pets can get cage anxiety.
Yeah, because, like, here's the thing, though. Like, a lot of hamster supplies and stuff, especially, like, the cages and stuff, like, I don't know if you've ever seen, like, one of PetSmart's lines where it's like, this cage is shaped like a spaceship. Take your hamster on a trip to space. And I'm like, these rodents like toys.
Well, I let's get social justice-y for a second. I'm blaming society for that, because seriously, if it wasn't for the fact that like so many people think that hamsters are a startup pet, they wouldn't have those cute little kid rocket ship stuff. It's because a lot of parents don't know any better, and they're like, oh, before we get them a finger quote real pet, we'll get them a hamster. It bothers me a lot. Cause
you shouldn't keep any pet as a quote-unquote startup pet. Really, I don't think kids should be in charge of pets in general, at least till they're like maybe 15 or 16. I mean, age variant depending on the child, of course. But, like, basically when they hit a maturity level, like, this is a living being that I have to take care of.
Yeah.
Like, I had a hamster when I was very, very, very little, and long story short, didn't last very long. And so when I got Peaches, I did a lot of research and realized there's a lot more to, like, actual proper hamster care than just what people normally put into. But I digress. So I went to clean out the little plastic attachment thing, since the critter trail has, like, the connectable tubes thing. So she's got, like, this little thing that she uses for her nest. And so it was starting to get stinky, because, you know, she's a stinky brat. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just wash it out, soap and water, no big deal. Over the next, like, 3 days, she was like, you know what? Just for that, I'm gonna nest in my wheel. And I was like, no!
Oh, no!
So then I ended up having to wash her wheel in order to discourage her from nesting in that. And then she went back to her old nesting box. So for 3 nights straight, all I heard in the middle of the night was just click, 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 click.
Oh, God.
Kill me.
But no, like, I completely agree. And, you know,
I mean, I had a cat when I was, like,
That's what happened to me.
11.
But did you take good care of the cat, though?
Yes. He's still alive.
Okay, see, you are a good being who is rare in this world. Because I'll be honest, because when I was
my general rule was I had to clean up after it. I had to make sure that he wasn't scratching up the furniture.
See, that's smart. Because, like, when I was younger, my parents, like...
Well...
Oh, yeah?
What?
I had peacocks when I was 4.
What?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Why did you guys have peacocks?
I don't remember.
Oh, God.
I used to have a hamster.
At that young age, though, I think it's probably more like the parents are taking care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, that was what I learned was... Yeah?
That actually was generally the case whenever I had pets.
Because, like, okay, when
Although, not so much anymore. I get the feeling that my voice is coming in, like, a second after I actually say my sentences.
Maybe it is, because you keep cutting me off. not to be mean. I'm just
yes,
like,
I do.
I'm wondering if you're doing that on purpose, or if it's just the connection.
No, because you're not talking whenever I actually start talking.
That's a weird lag.
It could be because of it's my grandma's house.
That could be it. What I was gonna say was, when I was younger, like, okay, so my parents wanted to give us a lot because they didn't have a lot growing up, and so I remember in kindergarten, my private Jewish kindergarten had a guinea pig.
Oh.
And everybody got to, like, roll a raffle to, like, take the guinea pig home for the weekend. And I was the first one to win, and I was so happy about this guinea pig. And I loved this guinea pig. And I took really good care of it for the weekend. Because I was also in kindergarten. I was a child. I was... Fuck, how old was I? Let's see. Well, probably I was around, like, 4 or 5 when I was in kindergarten. So I was a baby. And so... gave it back, and I was very sad. So my parents were like, oh, well, let's get them guinea pigs. Because Michelle liked it. And our guinea pigs didn't last long. Because now, my parents didn't know any better. I have to say this now. Like, you think it would be common sense, but my parents never had guinea pigs or caged animals. They never did. So, like, they didn't know any better. So my dad got us 2 guinea pigs. And one of my dad's coworkers was like, yeah, instead of giving them water, give them Tang. It's better for them. I give my kids guinea pigs Tang all the time.
Oh, dear.
So our guinea pigs died, like, a month in getting them. And we didn't know why they died. And I've talked about that story before. But my dad was so angry, and my dad's coworker apparently laughed like, dude, you actually believed me? My dad was like, It was a joke. I didn't know.
That's not funny.
Yeah, so
That is not funny at all.
I know.
Like, imagine, like, that can be traumatic for some kids.
I know. I'm very lucky that it didn't fuck us up because we didn't understand what death was. So to us, they were just taking really, really hard naps. It wasn't until, and this sounds bad, it wasn't until our first cat died in our pool that we, like, understood what death was. Because we never had death in the family. We never had a funeral. I never had that until literally in, like, 2015. So, I'd never been to a funeral before 2015, like, ever. Which everybody thinks is, like, really weird, but my family's really small, and so we don't just croak all the time. Anyway, that's very dark. I'm sorry. Bad joke. So, what happened was then, like, I got a cat named Sassy. And I didn't get Sassy until I was in about, like, first grade. And, no, that was kindergarten then. I got her in, like, first or second grade. And I loved her. But again, a product of the times. A lot of people didn't know any better. My parents got her declawed. But this is before, like, it was common knowledge that was bad. Again, this was the 90s. So a lot of people were declawing their cats. Because a lot of research wasn't out to the public that it was bad. Like, a lot of people didn't know. So, I have to say that because, like, now my parents know, and, like, we've talked about it, and they feel terrible. They're like, if we had known what it would do, we wouldn't have done it. Like, you know, and a lot of people have that mentality, which is why I'm so happy it's illegal in California. You can't get your cat declawed.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, in California, it's illegal. You can't get them declawed. And you can't get them lasered either. Because there was, like, this even worse treatment that came out, like, in the early 2000s, where it's like, we won't declaw them, we'll just take a laser to their paw so their claws won't, like, go out. It's really messed up. Like, it's messed up. And then that became illegal too, so just illegal all around, don't touch your cat. So, we had declawed my cat, and, again, bad advice, because the internet wasn't really a thing back then. My cat wasn't fixed yet. And my mom was like, okay, we should get the cat fixed. How long does it take? And everyone's like, wait for her to get her first heat and then get the cat fixed. So, me not knowing what a cat heat was, I thought my cat I thought something was wrong with her. Because when a cat is in heat, especially a female cat, they sound like they're dying. And as a kid who didn't know what dying was, it messed me up. Because I'm a very empathetic person. So we let the cat out. And she came back pregnant. And so then, now, you've got a pregnant cat with a bunch of young kids. And then kittens are born. And now all of us wanted to keep the kittens.
The American life.
Because all of us got really attached to these kittens. And my parents didn't want to keep them. So we went from having 1 cat to 8 cats.
Oh,
don't.
God, that's a large
Do not,
litter.
Petra.
I know. Again, we learned. But so, once they got old enough, we got all of them fixed. It was fine. But then, like, we didn't take good care of the cats because my parents were working a lot, and we didn't, I'm gonna be honest, we didn't want to clean the litter box. We didn't want to do that kind of stuff because we were kids. We didn't know any better. And I feel like, again, if your kid is able to take responsibility, and Angel, like you said, where your parents, like, made you do that stuff, I feel like it would be better for them at a younger age. But I grew up with a lot of people who, like, yeah, your parents took care of the gross stuff. You got to play with the fun pet. And I feel like that's what a lot of people did, where it's like, pets are like toys.
Hang on.
And as an adult, oh no, it's fine. And as an adult now, I'm like, no, that's a terrible mentality to have. And it's one of those things, like, when I have kids, obviously we're going to have pets because I need pets. But I'm not going to give my kid a pet if I know they don't know how to take care of it. Because that is bullshit. A lot of parents know whether or not their kid could take care of a pet or not. You know? It's just like when and it's a bad example to say this, but it's the only thing I think of. It's like when you go out to a restaurant and the kid's, like, misbehaving and screaming, and the parents are just acting like the kid doesn't exist. So you know that the kid does this all the time. And it's one of those, like, well then, dude, don't go out. Because I get people arguing, like, trying to debate me, like, no, everyone should go out. I'm like, if you can't afford a babysitter, you can't afford to go out. That's my mentality there. I'm sorry. I do feel like everyone should be able to go out, but if you know your kid's gonna be a brat and make a scene, don't take your kid out.
Yeah, because you're ruining other people's dinner experience. I agree.
Because okay, when Cody and I went to go see Miss
and
Marvel,
my eardrums.
Ah. Are your eardrums
Sorry.
okay? It's okay. Are your eardrums okay?
Oh no, I was referencing the making a scene.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So Cody and I went to see Captain Marvel when it came out, right? So it was like one of the first things we did when we were finally not sick anymore. We went to go see Captain Marvel. So we saw Captain Marvel. And I really had to pee. I'm not a person that has to pee. I usually hold it. But I really had to go. So I'm going and I'm like trying to I'm like crouching down. I'm not like crawling on the ground like an animal. But I'm like crouching down so I don't like invade people. And I see this family who has a little girl on a seat. Like the parents are both watching the movie. And the little girl's on a seat watching YouTube videos on her phone in the theater.
In the movie, no!
Yeah, and this girl was old enough to watch Captain Marvel, so it wasn't like she was a little kid. And I'm just sitting here and the worst was I could hear it because they weren't close to me; they were at the end of my row. So this girl didn't even have headphones in, and she's just watching YouTube videos during Captain Marvel the week it came out.
Oh my god, that pissed me off.
And then it gets worse. I go pee, I come back, and she's still watching YouTube videos. And I remember, I sat down, and I was like, what I missed, and Cody told me what I missed. And then when the movie was done, the family left, and I waited for them to leave, and I'm like, Cody, I cannot believe it. That little girl was on fucking YouTube the entire time. That must have been so annoying for the people sitting next to them, because it was a packed theater.
Or in front of them.
And, we were in, a decent row, so people behind the little girl would have totally seen the phone, the entire time. And I was sitting here if your kid doesn't want to go to the fucking movie, then go to the movie later or get a babysitter. Again, I don't understand this logic because people tried debating me on well, having a kid doesn't mean your life is over. I'm like, I'm not saying your life is over. I'm saying if you can afford to go the fuck out, you can afford a babysitter. And if you can't afford the babysitter, you probably shouldn't afford to be going out.
Hang on, Mom.
See,
that actually reminds me.
Christian,
when I went to go see Black Panther, albeit it was not nearly as bad, but the guy next to me let me know when I'm not roboting.
Okay, you're good.
I
guess never mind.
If I'm roboting, y'all wouldn't hear that.
Okay, so Black Panther.
Okay.
Black Panther.
Okay, so anyway, it's not nearly. Yeah. The guy next to me during a bit of the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
He had his phone out. And it was shining in my eye.
Okay, so here's the thing.
But again, I'm glad that he put it away, but still, it was annoying.
Here's my rule of phones. Here's my personal advice for phones in a movie theater. Just phones. We're not even talking about kids for a second. To me, it's only okay.
Yeah.
If you are in the very back of the theater, in the nosebleeds, and it's during a matinee or something, or the movie's been out a long time to where there's not a lot of people in the theater, so you're not bothering anybody. But in that same note, why would you be on your phone at the movie theater? If that was the case, wait for it to come out on DVD and watch it at home.
The only reason I have my phone out in the movie theater is usually because I have medicine that I have to take at a specific time.
Okay, see,
so if I'm going to be in a movie during that specific time, I have it on vibrate and I just put it on my leg. And then once it goes off, I turn it off and then I quickly take my pill.
Well, see, but that's understandable. That's a medical thing.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
And you put it on vibrate.
Yeah, because I've seen people, Cody's one of those people. I love him, but he never turns off his phone. I tell him, I'm like, because Cody loves movies, but I'm like, Cody, turn off your phone. And he'll be like, I silenced it. I'm like, no, turn it off or put it on airplane mode. Because for some reason, I don't know why, it's just Cody. He'll never get calls or texts, but every time we're in a movie theater, someone has to call him, and he hates it too. Which is why I'm like, Turn off your phone.
Just turn it off.
Just turn it off. I turn off my phone. The only time I don't is if it's a movie. I'm just doggo.
Sorry.
My phone is nearly always on vibrate. Oh, sorry, Miss Uda, go ahead.
The only time I ever have my phone on in the movie theater is whenever the movie hasn't yet started, and then I don't know if that even really counts for all this.
Yeah, usually I'll be sitting and if my phone is on, there'll be like the on-screen reminders like, be sure to silence your phone, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's me.
Even though most of the time mine's on vibrate anyway, just from being in high school and recently graduating, like not too long ago. In fact, Cole can't stand the sound of his phone when it's on. It makes him so anxious when it like actually audibly rings.
Oh my god, I hate this. I never realized this. Romance with a love triangle and multiple love interests. Ooh, who's the protag gonna choose?
Oh?
The dark-haired one. 99.9% of the time, it's always the dark-haired one.
Oh my god.
And I'm
Jacob and
I'm thinking about it, and I hate it. It's right.
Oh my god.
It's right.
But Jacob and Edward both had dark hair, unless there was a different description in the books.
Oh.
No.
I wonder why.
I hate this. I hate that this...
I mean, you're not wrong, but thinking of the most common example in my head. Honestly, my answer to that, my solution to that is the protag has two hands.
Oh my god, someone just pointed out too, they're like, oh my god,
the protag has what?
They realized, they're like, oh my god, this is so true. Think about it. Korra picked Asami and she has the darkest hair in the entire series.
But, Masuda, I said the protag has two hands.
Has two hands?
Yes, two hands. For holding.
Oh my gosh.
I swear, it's so true though. It's like, when that Prosd guy, made the thing on, like, love triangles in anime, where it was like, can't we just all fuck each other? I'm like, yes! Finally, somebody said it!
Polly!
Shit.
I have a trio of Polly characters, and I love them.
As long as Polly's done right, I don't care. I'm like, as long as they're all happy,
as long as
do it right.
Yeah, as long as it's, all consensual, all that happy jazz.
Oh my, I remember one where, it was talking about, like, love triangles and how to subvert it. Somebody said, like, the two main guys end up falling for each other and the main protagonist ends up with a cat. And I'm like, I want to do that just because it's funny.
Where is my happy trio? There they are! If I can put it in our chat.
I don't think I have any love triangles.
I have a happy trio that I bought from Zodiac.
Oh, you got the poly couple?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy this Prided Up sold. Because those were fun.
I wanted to get more, but...
I don't know what I'm doing.
It's funny. I try to think and I'm like, I don't really have... I mean... In, like, any of my stories, I currently don't have any poly relationships because a lot of my stories, like, they don't focus on romance. I mean, it's there, but it's not, like, that's the point of the story. But I feel like I would love to do one, but I would want to do it right. And I would want to have a story behind it besides just, like, now you smetch.
Holds three dolls together. Smetch.
Smetch it.
Anyway, I put my poly trio in art chat. That's an old piece I got a while ago.
I'm taking a look.
Let me see. Oh, they're cute! You and your tieflings.
They're not all tieflings, although the one in the middle is
those three.
Sort of working on
I just see Kleekai.
Oh, just so you guys know, we're going to have to wrap up in about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
I know, I'm sorry. But I am going to try to stream again on...
My goodness, the time passed.
hopefully
Oh, there it is.
Friday. Hopefully, let me see the date. Hold on. No, wait, I can't on Friday. I'm going to a wedding. Shit. Maybe Sunday again? Hopefully, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, just let me know.
I know. I'll let you guys know in the chat. I'm sorry. I have never been sick for like 3 weeks straight before. It's been hell.
Yeah.
Cause seriously, I'm like, oh my god, March is over. Looks at my to-do list and all the other shit I have to do and screams. Because
I felt so bad when I realized. Oh yeah.
Cause seriously, like I have to go. Let's see, where's my calendar? Let me read off what I have to do just next week. On top of try to get like 3 weeks of work done. Okay. Monday, try to stream and get at least 6 pictures sketched up and the current ones all inked. Tuesday, I have to go to the DMV all day to get my name finally changed. I got my name changed on my social security and my birth certificate, but California is starting this new thing called True ID, which is really fucking stupid, but without True ID, I can't get on a plane, and I got into San Japan, so I need to get on a plane, because I'm not taking a Greyhound to fucking Texas, so...
I would not recommend Greyhound in a million years. Did
Yeah.
I tell you guys that story?
No, go ahead, tell the story.
I don't think you have.
Oh, God. Okay, so 2018, my first ever convention. I was going to see my long-distance boyfriend at the time for the first time. So we're both like, oh, we'll take the you could just take the Greyhound down here to Virginia. It's cheaper, slightly, and also more accessible. I didn't even make it out of the state before they were like, yeah, we've got the bus, but no driver on shift to drive. So I spent my night from 7 at night to 1 in the fucking morning in the Columbus bus station, which, mind you, bus stations are already pretty sketchy, but the Columbus bus station, or no, wait, maybe it wasn't Columbus, maybe it was Cincinnati. It was one of the C cities. But anyway, I didn't even make it out of the state before I had to wait for like hours, and all I had that night was like a club sandwich and a Coke.
The dream.
Morning,
no, I'm kidding.
And the next morning, while I was taking the next bus, and this was like 8 a.m. at this point, like the person that I had decided was going to be my bus buddy for this particular bus ride, heard my stomach growl and kindly pulled out a plastic bag of trail mix and was like, hey, I'm diabetic, so I have perfect portion trail mix bags. You want one? I'm like,
Aww.
That's
and then
sweet.
we're just going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons for like the rest of the trip.
Oh my god, okay, so speaking of Dungeons and Dragons...
Yes.
With a very small... Ow! What the fuck? Ow! What? Christian? Did I die? Hello?
Rest in peace.
No, you're good.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. It was, wow, that was late. But,
That was so loud. Oh my god.
was I loud?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
yes,
goodness. I wasn't even, that was just...
Yes, you're very loud. That hurt my ears. Like, it takes a lot. That hurt me.
Oh my,
Oh my god, am I bleeding?
I was...
No, it's hair dye. I actually got scared for a second.
I was doing
I'm like,
that
oh my god.
at normal...
Yeah,
but
people in the
sorry,
chat were like,
me
"You
doing
full-on
that was
bleed."
just because I missed... that wasn't even that... I wasn't even screaming.
No joke,
maybe I should just talk
actually-
softly.
Maybe
But,
just a
the reason I did that but the reason I did that was because I missed playing tabletop RPGs. I mean, I know I only did it for just a little bit, what, 3 or 4 sessions total in my life. But like, I want to do it more. I'm sad.
You just have to find a good. Zach was an amazing DM, but what I was gonna say was, I may or may not be getting back into D&D.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. So
this would be a perfect time for me to pick up my campaign, finish it off, and get people involved. Then
I want to. Yes.
I want to try it out for the first time.
So do I.
A Patreon D&D session where we do that instead of the calls. Be like, here, we'll just stream D&D.
Oh my god, I would totally cool with that.
Like a 2-hour-long session.
I would like that too.
I mean, I think it'd be fun.
Cool. It'd be
I'd
so
be super
cool.
shy, but I would, it'd be enjoyable.
I'm really new at it though. I've never done one before.
I really need.
The thing though, honestly, what makes or break a D&D is the DM. It's the DM will make or break a game, in my opinion, over the players.
Yes, very much so.
I don't want to weigh it down because I don't really know a lot about it.
Like in my first ever campaign, the first DM that we had was like really dry and boring about it. But then when he was like, "Okay, I'm done with this game. Anyone else want to take up the reins?" The person who played our cleric actually took up the reins to the GM, and there was an immediate shift. Like, he was so passionate about putting so much detail and love into the story. All of a sudden, the world felt like alive.
Oh.
I've never done before.
I really want a DM too. Like, I think I've mentioned it before, but I even had gotten books from a different role-playing game system.
Yeah, the Star Wars
one that thankfully should be very easy to grasp for anyone. Yeah, and as of recently, Genesis, the basically the blank slate role-playing game system, so that you can make your own settings.
I'm not sure if it was Mitchie's server or another server that someone was mentioning that they... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, what? Hello?
Hello? I'm here.
Oh, it was called Genesis. It might have been me. I think I brought it up every so often, like with settings. I've been slowly working on, in fact, that one that I'd mentioned with the demon invasion and the rivalry between the Church of Lyria and the branded witches. And I am ever so slowly building upon it. I might even be able to expand beyond the initial story, but one thing at a time. Also, you all are getting these messages extremely late, so I am sorry. I am gonna be replying slowly to anything you say.
It's okay. I was gonna say, we're gonna have to wrap up in like 3 minutes, so...
My story is kind of, my campaign idea is kind of revolving around like zombies-ish in a way, but like not stereotypical zombies, more like just like suddenly brought back to life. But like with the stipulation of, I believe it's a fictional disease where the original concept is that one grows flowers inside of them when it's unrequited love or something. I kind of
I know what
based
you're
it off
talking
of
about.
that, so that's the stipulation. And so whenever they get hurt or damaged, they do have an extended life, or like are tougher than actual living beings, but they can only take so much damage because the flowers are what grow in place instead of like scabs. And so eventually they just can't live because there's too much flowers like cramming their organs and stuff.
That sounds so neat. I like that idea.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting anyone, but brain work. Oh, if we did do D&D, is there a version of the rule book that I should get?
I prefer
is there a specific version?
5th edition is the easiest one for people to grasp.
Alrighty.
Especially if you're more into characters and role playing and stuff like that, as opposed to the combat, which I personally find boring as hell if
Yeah,
you're not working it well enough.
I mean, combat's fun, but when it's like, when I have to do an entire math equation for a spell, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why I like using Roll20 too, because they do the equations automatically, and it just boop.
Yeep. All right.
Oh yeah. I think that I don't even think it's all that complex with the Genesis system that I mentioned. I think it's like just simple. I think it's like just simple addition or subtraction. But yeah, definitely prefer being able to roleplay in a campaign, even though I didn't do that great at it in my first one. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
To be able to do that, I really want to do that sort of thing.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy we all got to talk about it this time, and hopefully we can talk about it more next time, and more nerd stuff. And for once, we did an entire Patreon stream without mentioning Star Dragons.
Star Dragons.
I know. I was just about.
Oh my goodness!
We broke it. We broke the curse.
We didn't. We didn't veer off into the
quotation marks. So.
But wait,
yeah.
You mentioning it now.
I know it doesn't count though because
it doesn't count.
Yeah, but we
just mentioning it in quotation marks essentially.
Yeah, we didn't actually go into the topic.
Yeah. All right. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you for being amazing patrons and supporting me and stuff. And I love you all. I really do. Smatches. See you guys later.
Night.